Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How's it going? I am Dr. Tammy. I am your success strategist. I help you strategize and move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Connections and Conversations. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, and I'm a little late. So I was supposed to be on probably about an hour ago, but I hopped on did a live on a different page on the Catalyst for Change page, and so I am just now showing up here. Hey, LaShawn, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. I am here. So I am. I know. I'm trying to get this thing together. I I am. Hey, Joy Anthony, how are you? Thank you so much for popping on. It's early. What is it, 6 a.m.? Something like that right now. Hey there, Maurice, over on YouTube. Hey, it's been a minute. How you doing? So I am, yes, it's evening for me, but it's early morning for you. I am coming on here and I don't even know if I fixed my title correctly. So I'm hoping it says what I wanted to say. But I'm going to be talking about take the limits off. So I always come up with a word for each year. And that word is what I use. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I know some of you are trying to gear up for your New Year's resolutions. I don't do New Year's resolutions. How many of you do New Year's resolutions? If you do New Year's resolutions, put a one. If you don't, put a two. So I do the one word strategy, and it's this really popular strategy, and I use that to guide my year. And so I've been thinking about what are my words. And then I thought about yay! And then I was thinking about how I needed to really think about what it is that I wanted to accomplish in 2020. 2020 is setting up to be an explosive year. It's going to be an amazing year. And I'm seeing everybody putting twos. Never did. Never will. Yes, I give it up. I don't do that because you know what they say. After 21 days, it's gone. So I try not to do that. But a word I can always come back to because I can put it up. I can have it. So I just have this word as kind of like a mantra, as an affirmation, so to speak. So think of it like an affirmation. And so that's what I do. And I found that I've been searching, like, because I always start in December thinking about what is my word for the next year. This year was favor. And so I was thinking about what is my word for next year? Like, what is it? And as I was looking, I was thinking, now what is it that I need to accomplish? So that's one of the questions we ask ourselves. Sorry, get my words together. One of the questions that we ask ourselves in this process is what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? And I realized that I have so many amazing things set up, lined up, already in place for 2020 that I just need to get past the limits I'm placing on myself. I need to get past what I am um, thinking that is not serving what I have set up. And so I realized that so much is um, hinging on how I step into 2020. And I need to step into it with just confidence and just with this idea that there's nothing that can stop me. And I thought, let's just talk about that. Let's have that conversation. And I don't know if you are at a point where you are setting goals and really thinking about 2020 in that way. But I know that typically we dream, right? We have these dreams, we have a vision, but then we set our goals. And sometimes we set our goals to where they limit us, where they put us in a space where we feel most comfortable. We choose the ones that we know we can accomplish. We choose the ones that we know we can do. We choose the ones that we have done probably more work on. And I realized that, that's not my style. Yeah, anyone that knows and follows me knows that I am extra. If you've ever been in my space for a little time, like I'm extraordinary. And so because of that, I realized that that's how I need to step into 2020. Like I need to revisit that. Like there's been so many things that's happened this year that has really shaken my foundation, has shaken my stability, has shaken what I know to be comfortable. Let's just put it out there, what's comfortable. And I realized that because of that, I am questioning some things that I'm doing. I'm questioning the direction I'm taking in my business. And this is primarily business. This year, I think 2019 was more of a personal year, but I think 2020 is more of a business year and a time for me to really step into the next phase for my businesses. And so because of that, I need to really adjust how I think about it and where I'm going with it. So, because of that, I thought, we need to have this chat about take the limits off and thinking about how are we setting limits for ourselves? How are we limited in our thinking and our actions? And because those are the big things about my platform. Like, not only do we do mindset work here, but we also think about how can we execute? How can we implement action? And if we're going to do it and do it well, then we have to really be conscious and self-aware and be reflective. And so this broadcast is probably more about this reflection and encouraging you to think about, are you setting limits for yourself? And if you are, take the limits off. So if you're just joining me and you're coming in and you've been here for a minute and you're like, who is this lady talking? I am Dr. Tammy, and this is Connections and Conversations, and this is my weekly broadcast and that I have on Tuesday evenings. And typically it's at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, but tonight is a little later. But I thank you so much for joining me and watching the replay if you're catching the replay. I encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you're on YouTube. If you're here on Facebook, then definitely go up a like, turn on your notifications so you'll know when I'm live in case I am at a different time. So take the limits off. And there's three things I want to leave with you as we think about, as I talk about and explore this idea of taking the limits off. And the first one is release the control. Like this is a big thing for me. Like anyone that knows me knows that I like to be in control. And a lot of things that I do is because I like to manage things in a way that serves what I'm doing. And sometimes that's not good. And sometimes you have to really let that go. And so I realized that some things I need to, in order to take the limits off, I also must release control and allow things to flow. And I always talk about flowing with life and going with the flow and being in the flow. And yes, guilty. And being in the flow. And in order to be in the flow, you have to release the control. And that is something I need to work on. So when we're taking limits off, if we're living beyond and not having boundaries, in the sense of what we're accomplishing, not with people, that's a different thing. But then I need to take that off. I need to get rid of that. And the second thing is break through barriers. Like, a lot of what I do is I try to move. Hey, Tanisha, you're here. Hi, my dear. Yes, play. Yeah, we're gonna be no limit soldiers in 2020, girlfriend. And we need to talk. By the way, we need to talk. So, but so the other things is breakthrough barriers. So there's some things, and speaking about my cousin who's here live with me. Hello, my girl. Some of the things that I've just learned by her flow and her flowing with life is taking the limits off and doing some of those things. And there's so many opportunities that are available to me and has been presented themselves to me here in the US and abroad. And so it's just a matter of me really stepping into that and embracing that and not doing things that hinders how I utilize those spaces and utilize those opportunities. And I found that there's some things that I'm doing and I'm holding back is because I know what can happen. Sometimes we're not afraid of, most people think I think I'm afraid of my own power, so to speak. And that's my thing. So, so I'm not afraid of failing. And I know that many people are, and that's what they think I'm more afraid of success in the sense that it's my power. I love success, right? I wouldn't have all these degrees if I didn't like success, right? And so I think it's deeper than that. It's my power. And I know that what I can accomplish and what I can do is amazing. And I know that it's coming and I feel it. And and that may be a little abstract for some of you, but I feel that for 2020. And I realize that I really just need to take the limits off. I really need to release control, break through the barriers of my thinking and people saying no to me and me saying no to me. Like, not allowing those things to keep me from doing what I need to do. And so therefore, I need to break through those barriers in my thinking and in the messages I'm receiving and or not receiving, and the support I may not be receiving, because those things kind of hinder us too. And then the third thing is stretch beyond my comfort. So these things that I have set up for 2020 are really beyond my comfort zone and beyond what I've ever experienced. And so I really need to be in a place where I can stretch, and I need to stop stifling what I can do and what I'm doing. And I think it's been really big. Hi, Derek. It's been really big in the last month. I think because I've had so many changes lately that I am questioning a lot. And I think that because of that, I need to not do that. And I was really good about it until about October. I was really good about that until October. And I found that, I even started, let me just be like really transparent, right? I even started and created another book. And that book didn't come because of what I thought my audience needed, which is probably what I should be doing. It really came because that's what I needed. And so I realized I had to listen to my own messages and my own words. And so because of that, this book of quotes emerged. And so, I wrote it and put it together, compiled it in like a couple of days. And I did that because I knew I needed my own messages. And I think this time has been that putting limits on myself and stopping myself from doing what I need to be doing, what I could be doing, what I should be doing. And I've really set some limits. So I encourage you to just think about, how are you setting limits for yourself, whether it's in your mindset, whether it's in what you're doing, your action, but to really think about how you can take the limits off. How you can take the limits off, how you can release the control, break through the barriers, whatever your barrier is for you, that you take those off and that you stretch beyond your comfort zone. And I feel like that's going to be a lot for me in 2020, which I have no idea how it's going to play out. So you must stay tuned and come back and join me so I can give you an update. And yes, Derek, it does. And that's been my thing. I'm in this bounce back phase, and I know I have a broadcast about bouncing back, so definitely we'll watch that. But I'm in this point where I'm bouncing back, and I'm at the point where I need to just kind of reset. I just need to reboot, reset, and then I'm ready to go. So I'm really looking forward until tomorrow, my last final. And so I know that it'll give me this month to do that, to kind of reset. So whatever is happening, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But whatever is happening in your life, whatever is happening for you, whatever goals you have set, I encourage you to go for them. Just go and keep pushing, as Derek said, keep pressing, because you'll be surprised at your own power. Don't let that stop you. And so remember that, no limits, no boundaries, none of that. Because I really think that when I do that, and it's going to happen in 2020, that you're going to see this platform and what I do grow. So stay tuned. So this was probably a more reflective broadcast. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. I'm sure there'll be a part two. I'm sure there'll be a part two. But thank you all for joining me. Thank you for being here. And if you are not subscribed to my channel or liking this page, definitely like this page and turn on your notifications. I hope you'll join me in for another episode of Connections and Conversation on Tuesday of next week. I'm going to just do some announcements, though, because we have so much going on with the Catalyst for Change community that I need to definitely share with you what's going on in the community. LaShawn says, if you're afraid of being told no, you'll be told no if you don't try. Exactly. Because sometimes that no comes from you, comes from what you do or don't do. So definitely. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let me go through some announcements. I'm done. I've beat a dead horse. Take the limits off. That's what we're going to do. But I do want to share with you some things that we have coming up because you may want to join us. So the first thing is, because we're talking about take the limits off, I invite you to get the Manifesting for More, a playbook for planning and living on purpose. It's available on Amazon to grab your copy. It's a journal, a calendar, it's trackers. It helps you reflect. And that's probably what has inspired this. I've been reflecting. And so it's really great for that. And so I encourage you to get the playbook. The other thing that we have coming up in 2020, we have some retreats coming up. We have one in New York in April, and we have one in Chicago. There'll be a third one, but I will announce that once that is finalized and confirmed. But we do have our Conscious Connection retreats. They're amazing. Not only do you get to travel, have fun, and sightsee, but you also get some empowerment and education. And it's a great way to, my mom is here, so y'all hear all the bags. I'm sorry. But you also get to network and collaborate with other entrepreneurs and other women who are doing amazing things as well. So that's a great thing. And then the next thing we have other trips that are just for fun. And we are educational in a different way. And we have our Conscious Connection cruise that's in May. We have that every year. And I would say every year, but there'll start to be a couple per year. But the next one is in May, and so I invite you to join that. You'll see the link there, bit.ly/C4C Travel Group. That is the group where you can learn more about these trips and the retreats. So the Conscious Connection Cruise is in May. We're going to the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Grand Turk. Great trip. And so I invite you there. If there are cabins left, you're welcome to join us. So just contact me, inbox me, let me know if you're interested. I would love to have you join us. And then the other trip we have in August is the Barcelona, Spain trip. We'll be going to Barcelona, Spain, August 3rd through the 8th, 2020. And we are collaborating with and partnering with Brand New Travels. You can go to brandnewtravels.net to register for that. That registration is open right now. So I encourage you to go there. And if you do decide to go and you learned about it on my platform, if you would just inbox me and let me know, I would love to know and connect with you and show you my appreciation personally. So if you do go to his website and join the trip, I encourage you to definitely do that. And yes, we love the retreats. The retreats are amazing. And we have brand ambassador LaShawn is actually helping with the New York one. So definitely join us. But if you want to join any of these, definitely connect with me. I encourage you to connect with me. And I love to share more with you and how to get to hop on if the registration is open. So, there's some that will be closing in January. So you'll need to definitely hop on quickly and in a hurry, but connect with me and let me know if you're interested. I think that's all my announcements besides one more. And you kind of see, oh, that looks huge when I do that, right? It's already, the screen is like putting on 10 pounds, right? And then I do that. Okay, so y'all just never know what's gonna come out of my mouth, right? Okay, so, but we have our apparel. And we have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have sweatshirts like I have on, we have long sleeve shirts, we have even some pillows, and we have other accessories, we have even towels and blankets, and you can get anything with our logo, and it's amazing. The Catalyst for Change logo is just that. You see, we're creating change all day, 24/7 around the world, and so that is available to you if you want to support us in that way. And, stay warm or cool, depending on what it is that you buy. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, put them in the chat below. Put them even on YouTube, you can leave me a comment. Definitely let me know if you have. I know I can't wait. I can't wait for any of it. Like, it's so much. And there's some new things that I'll be sharing. Once it's a little more finalized, I will be announcing, and I have something cool to share with you that I think you're gonna love, and you're gonna want to join us. So I will be sharing that soon. But definitely join us. Join us on one of the retreats. It's coming up, New York, and my girl LaShawn is one of our ambassadors that's from New York. She doesn't live there now, but she's from New York. And if you ever hear her talk, you don't even have to ask. I'm just saying. That's probably what people say about me from Texas. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for being here. And remember to take the limits off, release the control, break through the barriers, whether it's thinking or action or other people, and then stretch beyond your comfort. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Maybe.